What's going on, guys? I'm pretty sure everyone can hear me fine. Can you hear me, King?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everything seems to be working fine. Currently, I can't promise you everything's gonna work fine. Cause you know how it is, King. Things will go just fine until it's actually time to do stuff, and then my mic stops working, my headset stops working. It's a real travesty, man. It's a real travesty.
Yes, sir. I can honestly.
So we are at another episode of R&R with the Lords, with me and King. You know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I've been slowly working on the production value when it comes to the channel. You know, we got some stuff to go over. Okay, that was weird. All right. So, first off, I think when it comes down to it, King, we should start with the Attack on Titan stuff, man. You know, start with the homework. What do you think?
Well, let me turn this down because you're really low, and I had to turn up the sound.
I'm low.
Yeah, you're really low. Yeah. You're low. Hey, put one in the chat if Attic is low. I'm echoing.
It might be.
He says the track was skipping, can't bump this in my hood, King, you echoing, King echoing like a motherfucker. Oops, sorry.
All right, talk now.
Hello. This is on the Addict's end, guys.
It is. You know, we have a new thing going on. I think you should be fine now. Because
Put a one in the chat if I'm still echoing.
I'm trying to make things simple. You know, I'm trying to make things simple.
He said King sounds like the Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Okay. Yes, like he still sounds like the Wizard of Oz, or yes, we good. Because I need a clarification. There's a difference. Better?
Addict levels are better or good.
All right. I can't trust the realm today.
He said it's better. They said it's better.
Conflicted stuff. Let me
no echo. Echo's over.
Well, let me see how I sound on here.
He said I'm good now.
Yeah, I sound fine. All right, it is what it is. All right, so let's get into it, man. You know, so what the homework last week was King. You know, he continues his Attack on Titan grind, and we both go watch Megan. We are going to talk about Megan today, so don't worry about that. We got a lot to say about that individual film. You know, King is so extra about the show, he wouldn't even talk to me until the show, because I was trying to like get a little bit of how he felt about the movie. He's like, "You're gonna have to wait for the show, man. You're gonna have to get those raw reactions."
I was not trying to share anything about that movie, so but Attack on Titan, I told you dudes I was gonna figure it out. The giants eat the little people and poop them out, and they become giants. So I was sitting there trying to figure out, I'm like, where are all these giants coming from? They're eating these people, but why are they eating these people? And what's going on with these people? And then my boy Aaron got 8. I was really basically through with the series, to be honest with you. I was just like, the main dude that I'm watching it for just got killed. I don't need to watch this no more. I don't care about nobody else like that. And then a wild skinny Titan showed up and he was busting butt, fighting the other Titans. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then they open it up and he come out of old boy neck. Excuse me. And it's Aaron. And I knew it because I kind of felt it. I felt it. That Titan was going crazy. All right, so they get him out the neck. Another thing that I observed, somebody knows about killing them in the neck because that's where the people reside. Somebody knows the truth, and they not talking the truth. They're not telling the truth. Something is going on in the background. Something shady's going down, and somebody's not telling the truth because it's very weird that you fighting these big Titans. They are impossibly fast. They're always hungry, and they're always killing. Who had the balls to say, you know what, I'm going to hit him in the neck? Who said that? So they must know something. Somebody knows something that's setting up these people to do this. Anyway, Aaron had performance issues. The next video, right? So,
Performance. So you
he's supposed
talk.
to get a
Hold up,
blue
just to
chew.
clarify, you're talking about the part where he's like trying to go on Will, right?
Well, what happened is they get him out. They bring him over to the club, to the peoples, and then everybody's looking at him funny because he's like part Titan, and they looking at him like, we don't trust him. Y'all was just running behind this dude. He was just your leader a second ago, so now you don't trust him, and he saved your behinds. So Armin and his little girlfriend, which she likes to say, we're family anyway, is protecting him. And they shot a rocket, yo. These dudes, I mean, a cannon at the dude. Yo, old boy, the captain flipped out, shot a cannon at him, and he partially turned into a Titan by biting his hand, which is when he inflicts pain on himself, he turns into a Titan, which is some strange stuff that I'm seeing here. So, you know, he didn't fully turn, he partially turned, and then you know, he kind of blocked it, and these dudes are setting it up again to get another cannon shot out. And you know, they just got out of there until the real boss showed up and calmed down everything, because boy with the wild eyes was trying to just mess everything up for everybody. So
Well, I mean,
back to Aaron.
I don't think that's fair because you got to look at it from like their perspective. They never seen something like that, and these Titans have been terrorizing them for decades.
They all their hearts pump Kool-Aid. I ain't worried about it. So when the real dude showed up, you know, the real boss showed up, he laid down the law. He's like, nah, we're gonna use him, and we're gonna use him to fight off the other Titans. Well, that didn't go as planned because your boy had performance issues, and they should have gave him a blue chew. So he was laying on the floor, and he want to be defeated in his own little world. That's where I left off at, because I'm right at the cusp of, because he turned into a Titan, and Arm went over there because he turned on his peoples, and Arm went over there and like stabbed him in the shoulder and pulled him out of that little funk that he was in, and because he was all in his head and stuff. So I'm waiting for the next issue. The next episode. I'm waiting for the next episode, but I'm not gonna lie, it has got me so intrigued. This Attack on Titan got me so intrigued. It got me so intrigued that after I finish this first season, I'm gonna be watching for the Patreon members, I'm gonna be watching live episodes, those episodes that I didn't see, like season 2 to 5, whatever they up to, behind the Patreon, and so you guys can watch me react to these things raw, because I have too much fun, and I'm screaming and I'm yelling too much to hold it to myself. I gotta share this with the universe. Even though Addict didn't like Baki, and you know I can't stand him for that, but I'm sitting here going through his Attack on Titan, and I'm seeing a little gems in it. Even though a lot of things are inconsistent, these episodes is really like 15 minutes long. They have a recap, 15 minutes long,
Yeah.
and fake commercial breaks. So I'm with it though.
Did Aaron plug the wall?
No, he didn't plug the wall yet.
Okay.
When they told him to go plug the wall, pause. Your boy had performance issues, so he couldn't plug the wall, and he just sat there looking defeated.
Tell me how extra they are when they go into that stuff, man. Like when they do like the little stuff. You haven't come across Levi yet, have you?
Yeah, I saw Levi already. I told you that.
He killed the 2 Titans in that.
Yeah, Levi was doing his thing with his people. Remember, they give you a flashback of when they walking out the search and rescue team, or whatever, the observation team, and they're going out there to check out in the world. And Levi is like the leader of that. He's like super arrogant but super nice. And the dude dies under his watch.
He's definitely, in terms of like strength in that show, he's probably the best person that they have. Like literally the best person. There's incidences where he is so OP, everyone else is scared of him. You know, we won't go too much into that. I'm curious to see your opinions. There's a part in a courtroom. I'm curious to hear your opinions with Levi. So you know, we might start doing the Patreon thing a little early than that, because there is a lot of good stuff, especially a forest they about to go into, and I'm curious to hear your opinions about that. So what episode was that? That's like probably 6, 7.
No, that was further than that. I think I'm up to episode 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah. Because I'm getting ready to go outside. I saw that the next episode was like outside, and I was just like, nah, I'm going to bed, and I will see this episode tomorrow. Because I had to also remember I had to go see Megan yesterday. So after seeing Megan yesterday, I really wasn't going to do anything else.
Yeah, I'm sure you was tired yesterday.
Tired as hell.
All right,
But it
so
was worth it.
yeah, so that's pretty much I can't really determine another place for you to watch because we got to see how we do this Patreon thing. We'll probably talk about that later. So, it's good that you're liking it though, man. It's good that you're liking it. I'm excited that you're actually liking it. All right, so let's go ahead and move on this thing, man. We got some Joe stuff to talk about. Some Last of Us show. For those of you who don't hear anyone talk about Blood Origins, we didn't even bring that show up. That show like lived and died in a couple days.
What show?
Blood Origins. It was that
Blood
Witcher show that was
Oranges?
on Netflix. It was like it's a Witcher origin show. It's like the
Oh, you talking about? Oh
worst.
no, hell no.
It's like the worst rated show they've ever done.
I didn't even watch the other seasons of The Witcher when Henry Cavill was still employed. So so I'm like, I'm not. I used to be a huge Witcher fan until part 3, which makes no sense, right? It's just the combat that I couldn't get around. I was just anticipating them fixing the combat. So all Witcher stuff after that kind of like put a sour taste in my mouth. Pause. But they did give a new patch, so I might go revisit it. And if I revisit it, I might feel a way to watch the episodes of the show. Plus, I had a thing like I really don't like Henry Cavill that much, but I don't have a problem with him playing Gerald because I think that he fits Gerald.
I agree. I actually feel like
I think he
done
does.
a really good job with Gerald. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a shame that he wanted to leave that position, but I get it. That sometimes things don't work out the way people want to, but we ain't gonna go too much into that. So let's move on, man. We got to talk about The Last of Us because it's.
I don't know who was in
Last
charge of
of
the
Us,
casting.
man. Huh?
I don't know who was in charge of the casting, but these dudes done got the Mandalorian dude up in there. He messing stuff up ready from the rip because he want his face out at all times. He won't want any obstruction to his face. Excuse me. This man has been a thorn in my side. I wish Disney never casted him as the Mandalorian. Now he is not the way. He got his face out, but hopefully this series gets to The Last of Us 2 so I can see him get the brakes beat off of him and get him taken out of here because I don't like him already. I don't like what he's doing. And Addict knows what I'm talking about. Addict, please explain to the people what the King is outraged about.
So, as you guys know, King's actually a lot more fan of Last of Us than I am. I think it's a good movie game, but I don't think it's like amazing or anything like that. And apparently, the show writers took it upon themselves to write out the spores in the game. Now, this doesn't mean that the infection isn't the way the infection is. It's really determining on like the way that the infection is spread. So we got to keep that in mind. It's not changing a lot in the show, but there is a lot of key components in The Last of Us that is real determined on mask wearing. And pretty much what they're doing in the show is they're like, it doesn't spread really through air, through air contact. And part of me understands that, but then the other part of me, King, is like, in Last of Us Part 1, how many times are they realistically with that mask on? How many?
Not that much. And it really has a huge plot point to it. I know you may think that it's filler inside the game, that okay, you do these stealth parts where The clickers are there, and then you have to sneak inside the spore infected places, and places that have too much of a high spore level. You got to have your mask on. Um, I don't know, man. I think that they could have realistically worked that aspect into it and kept it true to life from the video game. The video game is great source material. And I don't understand why, they're not following Neil Druckmann's cadence. They should just follow it. But again, every director wants to have their imprint, their thumbprint put down on whatever project that they're working on. So they don't want it to be a verbatim, word for word, script for script of The Last of Us. They want to have
What's that?
some form of direction
What's
in
that
their way.
Breakfast Club joke? He copied my style word for word, brick for brick, or something like that.
I don't know, man. I'm just at Mr. Pascal. Me and him is just at odds, to be honest with you. Because it seems like every role that he gets is always some weird controversy with this dude and obstructing his face. Maybe he has a phobia of having his mouth covered or something. I have absolutely no idea. But what I do know is he screwed up my Mandalorian script, and I was the one that was screaming, boot him, recast him. He's just a voice. Just have somebody, that's a really good voice actor do the voice and keep the mask on, because, as Mandalorians go, they're supposed to keep their mask on. So this right here as Joel, I have solace in knowing how Joel ends up. So I don't know how long I gotta wait, but I can wait for it.
I think to me, I don't mind the scripting. I know a lot of people are very keen on whether or not he is. Are you still there, King?
Yes, I am here.
Your mic, your cam stopped working.
I know. I had to get some juice. I was choking and dying.
Oh, okay. I was making sure it wasn't me. I was like, I don't know if it's on my end.
I had to get some cranberry juice. And,
I just, here's my thing when it comes to it. I just feel like the casting's okay as long as he does a good job. I just don't like when these people make drastic changes to what actually is the lore of a game. Like, it irritates me. And that's why, to this day, no matter what they do with that Sonic movie, I don't care what they do. Because they went and spent millions of dollars to redo the way Sonic looked, because us as the community wanted that. I always have to respect them. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't care if they made 8 more Sonics. I'm watching 8 more Sonics, because we have such huge thing of demanding them to respect the industry and respect the context of the game, and stay close to the book. But we need to do a better job at when they do it, to respect it and to actually go and support it.
Yo, on a real though, who was truly upset when they saw Ellie? There's
a lot of people that was upset with Ellie.
I like, bro, she don't look nothing like that character. Be like, they got Pascal. He looked just like Joe, like close to it. This kid is man, this ain't it, man. Somebody over there messing around. This ain't it. This kid ain't it. I was like, ooh, man, the casting, she better be one hell of a good actor. Because, boy, she do not look the part. And I'm having a hard time marrying the two characters. She don't look like Ellie, man.
Yeah, I think Petrol looks more like Joel than she looks like Ellie.
Yep.
But it's just like, if you're not going to respect in terms of what's going on, I just want you to at least respect the actual, the context of what we're doing. That's all. It's like, go ahead and cast the way you want to cast, because we will clown you if it doesn't work out in the end. But keep this very real. When you change key points of the lore and it doesn't work out for you, people are going to be way more upset. Remember Master Chief. He took his mask off at the first episode, King, and that mask pretty much never came back on.
I was more disgusted with Master Chief cheeks than anything else. I do not need to see my Master Chief buttocks. I do not. Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to shut your mic off, sir. At no point in time did I think that was a goal. There's no way in hell should I see Master Chief buttocks. That is not the wave. That is not the goal. That I was more disgusted at that. Take your face out, boy. I don't want to see your buttocks. There's no way. I don't know what that got to do with Master Chief squeezing pistols, showing your buttocks. I don't know what they got to do with it. It shouldn't have been there. I really honestly think that should have been edited out. It shouldn't have been there. I was more disgusted at that than anything else. Thank you, Nico. That's definitely it right there. I was crying. I was upset. I was mad. Had a little bit of upchuck. I was like, oh, hell no. Is that Master Chief cheeks? Come on, man. You know when you got to yell out pause when you land? Come on, man. Chief cheeks? Come on, man. No, definitely not the way. I was not good with that.
It's definitely a bad look in terms of what's going on. It's like, I could have dealt with the Master Cheeks if everything else on the show was good.
So you tell me you would have been happy that he kept his mask on but showed his cheeks?
You know what? As bad as this might sound, I think I would rather have dealt with Master Cheeks if he had his mask on the whole time.
Think about that
one
people.
scene with his ass talked out.
Think about that, people. Addicts say, as long as he got his mask off, Chief could be running around butt naked shooting.
No, that is not what Addict said. Addict said that one particular scene, I would have been okay with that if he kept his mask on the rest of the scenes.
This is not Halo After Dark, man. This is not Halo OnlyFans. This is no way in hell Master Chief cheeks was supposed to be seen at all. I don't know who said okay to that. And that person should definitely be fired. I do not want them touching season 2. I do not, again, I'm going to tell you, I do not want to see Master Chief cheeks in season 2. Do not make a recall.
Man, they gonna show you more than his cheeks in season 2.
Pause. Come on, man. Let's go. Next topic, man. Let's get to the DC roadmap.
Get to the DC stuff.
Now we got to finish talking about Last of Us, though. I mean, I'm really anticipating it.
When's the show come out? I think it's next week, isn't it?
Oh my God, is that soon?
Yeah. Hey, chat, tell me when the show comes out. I know you guys, you got Google at your fingertips. Well, I got Google at my fingertips, but I'd rather chat work for me and not me work for the chat.
Oh, let's work together.
See his face.
Let's work together.
We're gonna have to do weekly talks about that. About that show,
the angry therapist with the $5 super chat is a fist. Master Cheeks.
First episode is this Sunday. First episode is this Sunday. So Tuesday we will be talking about the first episode of
this Sunday
of The Last of Us.
All right, so then we'll be talking
HBO too. HBO Max.
We'll be talking about it on Monday then. I mean Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah, we'll talk about it on Tuesday.
Man, I'll watch it on Monday. Talk about it because I don't watch anything after Iron Lord's podcast, which needs to be like what? How many hours we do that? 10 hours?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and that's for sure. All right, so we know what's next, man. We know what's next.
Wait till they get a load of me.
So now, I know that this isn't the DC we talked about, but this is the DC I like. So this is the one that's going to show when we talking about this fiasco that's going on DC's movies, man. King, take over, man. Take over. Like,
I like the fact that the Flash is sticking around.
I don't. I think that's a problem.
Yo, we got an alleged kidnapper.
He's literally the villain. Like
he
might as well be recasted for Reverse Flash at this point.
Yo, he probably is the Reverse Flash, and he's been trolling us this whole time.
Yo, wanted that would be crazy. And this entire time, he's really been Reverse Flash.
He's been Zoom this whole time. Shout out to Killian Brown with the $2 super chat. Y'all watch Vinland Saga? What's Vinland Saga?
I have no clue what that is.
That's an anime. Put it in the regular chat if it's an anime. Let me know. Put a one if it's an anime. I'm gonna give we're gonna give y'all guys a lot of control, right? So soon y'all gonna get a chance to be like, yo, King,
Yeah, we
you need to watch this and you need to watch that, and then we'll put the poll up and people will vote on it, and guess what King
so
will be watching?
we'll give you guys a
Vinland.
little bit of insight what we're gonna do because I do feel like we need to give the Patreon and a little bit more shine. Now the reason we're gonna do a lot more R&R on the Patreon rather than the members is because YouTube is very fickle when it comes to anything like movie TV related. We get away with the gaming stuff,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be as easy to get away with it when we talk about certain things. So pretty much what's going to happen is we're going our Patreon tier is going to be filled with stuff. We're going to give options to Patreons on what we watch, and we're going to give. So how it's going to go is if you notice on ILP, we're going to give the Patreons, and we'll probably give the voting process to members too because that seems fair. You can
Yeah.
easily do that, and then we'll
Yeah.
take four of those things, or one if there's drastic amount, we'll take that one, and then we'll take four of the other ones, and we'll put those four on Twitter for the entire community to pick on what we watch next.
And then
Right now,
we'll get the
King is in the
consensus
middle of
from that.
Attack on Titan, so you pretty much can pick something for him to watch and something for me to watch. Now, King's
Yes.
busy for a little bit in TV shows.
Yeah,
So.
I'm busy, but your boy got to watch Baki Hanma because he already didn't finish Baki. So he needs to finish up Baki, and then he needs to roll over to Baki
There's a
Hanma.
whole 2 seasons to that Baki.
And then after he finishes Baki Hanma, then I got the Kenshin tournament. Then he's gonna watch that. So we gonna keep at it just as busy as myself. So you're not gonna get away with it. Next week, I want more on Baki and where you at. Did you get a chance to fight the guy with the dead hand? What happened?
I will watch another 3 episodes of Baki next week, and we'll
Thank
see.
you, sir. Do appreciate that.
I'll watch 3 more episodes of that god awful show.
It's dope. It's dope. I don't want to hear it. So back to the reverse flash. So it just I like the roadmap so far from what I'm hearing. Like Blue Beetle, Superman, what is it called? Like Man of Tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Yeah, like
Green
Superman,
Lantern
Man of
was
Tomorrow, Green Lantern, Teen Titans, and then Justice League film, and something else in between there. Attic and I was conflicted with the thought process of a Teen Titans movie because how are you going to show the sidekicks before you show the main heroes, right? And it kind of doesn't make any sense, but I don't know how he's crafting the universe and how he's going to work that into it. It could be that these heroes always existed in this universe and they just unveiling them opposed to having origin films. We don't know what's canon, what's not canon. I think we just have to see what James Gunn is going to do, because I don't believe that we got a slate from the Marvel universe in the beginning. I believe we got like Iron Man, and then things started trickling in from there as they started breaking down stuff. But to be honest with you, I think it was more of an organic growth, kind of like how Sony does, organic growth. And then I believe that he'll start forming this world. I want to see how he crafts the world. I know he's very high on Blue Beetle because he wants Blue Beetle to represent his Peter Parker type of character, and he wants it to have that Spider-Man feel. So I think he sees big things in Blue Beetle as far as the potential that it can reach, the audience that it can reach. I want to know how he's going to get that across, but Blue Beetle looks like a good place to get the younger crowd in as far as that goes, because he's a little bit naive. He has this alien on his back that he's learning, that's bonding with him. So yeah, I want to see what he does with Blue Beetle. I think it might work really well.
All right, so I got the things up here, so we could talk about them one by one. Superman the Superman movie. Is it called The Last Sun? because this is kind of blurry. Green Lantern: The Ring of Power.
Right.
Teen Titans, something contract. The Arrow, the Night of Arrow, and the new Justice League movie.
So that means in this world, Arrow didn't die, Green Arrow didn't die, uh, and he's gonna probably recast all the Teen Titans. So it's really a lot of speculation because we don't know who's playing what roles, who's doing this, who's doing that. You know, Superman, Man of Tomorrow, who's going to play Superman, who's in the running. It's very much in its infancy. So pretty much, to be honest with you, the roadmap is really the end of the road for the Zack Snyder universe with Shazam, and not saying the Snyder, just the current state of Warner Brothers. You know, Aquaman, Shazam, and the Flash movie. Out of all of them, I'm probably more anticipating the Flash movie to see if it's a train wreck, because the guy Ezra Miller is a train wreck. I wanted to see how it pans out on screen with all the recasting and all the reshoots and all the plot changes and stuff like that, just to get the movie out. So I'm really more curious about that, to be honest with you, opposed to Shazam, which I think is a complete movie with plot line and everything, and Aquaman 2, which I think is a complete movie. We didn't hear anything wrong with either one of those movies, and you know what the set is, but we know that the Flash had a bunch of turmoil.
So curiosity, what's going on with this Blue Beetle? What is Blue Beetle? I've never heard of that. I see in the Tyler in the chat saying Blue Beetle.
He's a Latino character. Early on, he wasn't a Latino character, but they uh, like redid his story. It's an alien that's on his back. They like retconned everything. He's a Hispanic character, Hispanic young man, and he has to deal with this alien that's bonding with him, that he doesn't know if it's malevolent or benevolent, and he's trying to deal with and cope with that. So it's kind of much like the same youth Spider-Man story, just told through a different lens. And I want to know how they choose to tell this story. I'm not a huge DC fan, but I do have a couple of Blue Beetle comic books. But the Blue Beetle comic books I do have are from the past, and they changed that character, all the way around the boards. So now it's a different type of character. It's a different iteration of the character. So I really want to see how they take this character, because I watched them on Teen Titans, the cartoon, the anime, but I really want to see what they do in the movies.
Do you think it's interesting that that
Yeah,
Batman's not on here at all?
Yeah, you sound low.
I sound low right now.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Mandingo McThicken said you sound low. Yeah, the original Blue Beetle was killed. Yeah, I know.
All right, what about now?
You sound better.
All right, so is it interesting that Batman's not on here?
No.
I feel like that's interesting.
No, because James Gunn said he looks at the flaws of the DC universe, right? And the DC universe flaws of what you don't see the Joker up there. You don't see the Joaquin Phoenix Joker up there, because that's not the phase of the DC universe. Those are Elseworld stuff. Those movies will still be done. That Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, will still be done. That Joaquin Phoenix Joker, that stuff would still be done. Those are Elseworld movies. So those doesn't happen in the current continuum. But what is happening is these. He doesn't want it to be a Batman centric universe. He wants it to be more of a Superman centric universe, and he wants Superman to grow with that universe. We had so many Batman films and not so many Superman films, and he wants to balance that equation out. So I think it starts off good. If you start off with a great Superman film, you have a nice young actor playing Superman, and he can grow into the role, and then they can reach out to different characters, and they can start bonding and stuff as a team. I think it could work. I just want to know how he's going to show his strength and his weaknesses. What is he? What is he going to have? The typical kryptonite weakness. Because remember, Zack Snyder went with atmosphere of Kryptonian atmosphere was weakness to Superman because his lungs had developed a penchant for oxygen. So I don't know. I want to know how he deals with the strengths and weaknesses of Superman.
If you look at it from this, so I guess what's interesting is in the Teen Titans is because I just seen the cartoon that was on like Cartoon Network. Okay, that's all I seen. All right, so you got Stargirl, I think that's her name. Robin.
Yeah, that's fun. She's fun.
What's the Astrok Metro Synthos chick? What's that chick's name? Raven. Beast Boy.
Right.
And Cyborg.
Right.
So my question is, if that is, so that means that Robin, that's the first Robin, right?
What that they
that's in Teen Titans?
Nightwing.
So that's the Robin that becomes Nightwing.
Yeah. I don't know what episode you're watching. Because remember, if you watch the first Teen Titans, you're talking about the live action, right?
No, I'm talking about the cartoon.
Okay, that cartoon, no, that's Batman's son.
Okay, so see, this is why I don't listen to comics. I don't do nothing comics because I know there's like 20 Robins, 50 Batmans, 80 Supermans.
No, it's not that serious. But I mean, pretty much close. You got the whole Bat family, but Jason Todd is there. What's his Dick Grayson is there. What's his son's name? Jason, I believe. No, Jason Todd. No. His son. Man, what's his son is bad. His son is bad as hell because he's Ra's al Ghul's grandson, and he was raised in that the kill or be killed type of environment, and Batman was trying to weed that out of him. Well, Damon, yeah. The reason why I know Damon is because I used to watch Vampire Diaries, and Damon was like one of my best vampires.
People, I will say that show got a really bad rep, Vampire Diaries, and for no reason.
It was dope.
Well, I think it was because that was at that time where people were thinking, oh, they just put attractive people in there for like dudes with their shirts off and stuff for women.
No, they did that. They put attractive girls in there too.
Yeah, but see, people didn't get past that part. You know what I'm saying? But like Vampire Diaries had like one of the best antagonists I've seen like in TV, which was Klaus.
Klaus,
yeah, Klaus, like literally one of the best TV actors I have ever seen was Klaus Michelson. Like it was ridiculous. His name's Joseph something, Morgan, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, but he was dope. But yeah, so that from the cartoon, if you're going by the cartoon,
that's why I'm asking because I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think James Gunn is going to go by the cartoon.
Well, probably not.
That's too way advanced in the Batman mythos.
Do you think that so if Teen Titans, that means there's a Robin in Teen Titans in this universe, so it's got to be like the original Robin.
Yes, it has to be Dick Grayson.
So it would be like after him and Batman split up. Was he doing Teen Titans while with Batman?
Yeah.
All right, so
the Teen Titans are the junior squad.
Okay.
Right? And you have the Justice League that's doing their thing, and these guys is in beta. They're the beta boys, the original beta boys. So that team handles all the smaller stuff. But what happened in the late 90s, Teen Titans with the great George Perez inking and drawing the artwork started to surpass the Justice League in popularity. Right, and they just had some real good stories like Jericho. You had Deathstroke and stuff like that as their main antagonists, and the stories got so good they kind of eclipsed the main Justice League as far as popularity. So this is why you got a lot of shows doing Teen Titans, because the angle of having teenagers dealing with superpowers and also dealing with their counterparts, which are older, more mature, it more resonates with comic book readers, which is supposed to be boys 12 to 24. It resonates more with
I
that
think
group. So
I think my mindset is they're bringing Teen Titans in because I'm assuming like they're going to bring Raven, Stargirl, and all of them in that movie,
well,
and that's gonna.
Stargirl isn't really a member of the Teen Titans, not until like the later books, I believe.
Well, then is Raven an early member?
Yes,
So
she is
I
because of her father,
so
Trigon.
Raven, Beast Boy, and at least Robin, right? Maybe Cyborg. I don't know if Cyborg's in
Starfire,
Starfire. That's the
Fire.
person I'm talking about. Starfire.
Oh, you okay? So you're not talking about
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
Stargirl.
so
Okay, that's
so
fine.
I think that's a good way of like skipping a little bit of movies. They have a group, let's make a movie about that group instead of individual people.
No, they
So
they have to make individual movies.
well, see, but what I'm saying is going into Justice League. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they'll eventually get to that, but when you introduce that movie with that cast, you can use either one of them because they already have their backstory in Justice League, and then probably after Justice League, they'll start to like expand on those individual members.
Out of that list, what movie you're most anticipated for? Well, what are you looking forward to?
Probably Teen Titans. Neither that or Green Lantern. Like
Mine is Green Lantern.
I liked the Green Lantern everyone hated.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, see, I'm a huge Guy Gardner fan, right? I don't know where James Gunn is gonna go. I don't know if he's gonna go Guy Gardner. I don't know if he's gonna go traditional. I don't know really where he. I don't know if he's gonna go black or white. I have no idea where he's going to take the Green Lantern Corps. I don't know if Sinestro is the main villain in this, or do you start off with the Green Lantern Corps and Sinestro starts off before he becomes jaded as the hero, and he's the main character. There's a lot of ways that you can look at that before they even came to Earth, um, and handed up the ring. It's so many different ways that he can use that. I really didn't think that the the Deadpool Green Lantern was terrible. I thought it was pretty decent at the time for myself, So, I'm into all that CGI stuff, and I thought they tried to use it effectively. And I'm just a huge nerd, so that stuff really resonated with me. I was cool with it. To be honest with you, just like you, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get on with the 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 king of the episode, Megan. We have both
John Stewart.
seen this movie, and what I like about it now, man, King, is I have this whole thing settled now. I know how to work like this opening closing thing, uh,
Okay,
semi regularly.
looks nice now. It looks. I like how you pull a curtain open and close. Pause.
Yeah, well, I pull it close so I can like switch transitions to like the next one.
Oh, that's
But
dope.
so Megan, I seen it last week. You seen it last night. For those of you that don't know, Megan is pretty much like a modern take on Chucky in a way. Would you say that's a fair analogy?
No.
You don't think it's a modern? I mean, look, I know there's a lot of aspects to Megan that's not the same as Chucky, but I do think it's a modern take of Chucky. I think that's a fair assessment.
When I break it down, I don't think you would.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, chat. Do you think that it's a modern take of Chucky? And you corrupt some of the chat, so I probably should have said that before.
Messy Lords roll with the king. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. So all right, let's get with let's get with Megan, man. Give me your overall impressions of Megan.
All right, so I went into that it was going to be a modern take on Chucky. Really did. I thought we were going to get that aspect of it, and I walked out saying it was more of a modern take on AI, the movie with Will Smith. Uh,
Nah, I can't get down on that,
And
man.
I know you might not go there.
Maybe on a smaller scale, because iRobot
Yeah, I
was
robot say
what
AI. Yeah,
yeah, it
I
was a
robot.
lot bigger. It was a lot bigger on a way bigger scale.
Well,
It was
okay.
like 1,000 Megans jumping around. Like,
All right. So that's a triple A budget film. This isn't a triple A budget film. This is basically like the genesis of it, right? So the genesis of it is you have to think of it. Chucky was supernatural and spiritual in his whole essence, transferring the power of the brain
well,
to
see,
the
I wasn't really
doll and the
referring it to like the demonic
the
thing.
dumbly.
I was talking about just the doll aspect.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's close, but uh
But that
he was
not a
more
lot
like a
of things do
Terminator.
that. Like, not a lot of things do that.
Right. So
You think it's more of a modern take on like on Terminator,
she's
or you think it's
she's
just more on
sentient.
Terminator's theme?
She's sentient. She's a sentient being. She's it was different. You know, Chucky was an evil killer that transferred his body, his essence into a doll and pretended to be a doll. You know, this was in all
I
intents and
feel you. I
purposes
feel you.
a
Okay, yeah, I can
learning
see where you're coming
machine.
from on that.
Right, with no protocols around. She's really Ultron. It's really wild crazy. Because I went in there and I saw something. I was just like, wow, this is the best take on a smaller budget because the budget wasn't huge, but how they worked it very well. It was, first of all, it was a very tight storytelling from beginning to end. It was very
It
tight.
was good. It was tight.
Even plot holes that you thought was there, they revisited really quickly and told you about the plot hole and was like, boom, and closed the plot hole. Right. So the movie was intelligent. It's more of a horror comedy, right? And
I actually don't see the comedy. I don't think the comedy was there that
when
much.
she was dancing, you didn't see the comedy in that?
That was just like one scene. If you want to get technical, that scene with her dancing, we'll get to the spoiler thing in a second. That was like the only real big plot hole I had in the whole movie. Like,
Well, but okay, so
we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to
the
that in a second.
movie appeals to the young crowd, the very young crowd. Young crowd is TikTok. It starts off with Furbies, right? So remember the take of Furbies, little trashy dolls that don't really have any intelligence to them at all. Very catchy stuff a while ago. So now they have a different take on it, but she was the modern iteration of what toy manufacturers aspire to be. They always want to get this next greatest best that can one up the next toy manufacturer, and she had it. But what she didn't do is it was rushed. A lot of things happened in between a time, and she wasn't able to instill certain protocols into the machine. So the machine was doing what a machine would do, is gain information and overwrite certain protocols. It was ingenious in how they delivered it. Now the comedic aspect of it is she was dealing with a child that is you say like 12 to 13 years old, and the child at that age has a little snarky little attitude, a little bit of rebellious nature, and the doll took on that whole personality and fed into it, which would make it comedy, which would make it funny. But it was a malicious doll because it learned about death very early on. So that's where the comedy is. The comedy is within the subtle little aspects of it that she did. It was funny as hell. Some of those scenes was funny as hell, like with the dogs and stuff.
Yeah. I guess we'll get to the spoiler part. So actually, we won't. Let's stay in out of the spoiler part. I
She
forgot
looks like Elizabeth Olsen. She looks like and shout out to Locke. Uh he put up a tweet with a meme that had the Vision and the Scarlet Witch, and that's their baby, and it was hilarious to me. I think I retweeted it. It was funny as hell. He was definitely
All
spot
right,
on with
so
it.
this is where we get to the spoiler part. Unfortunately, all the hard work I did on the non-spoiler room, I didn't do the spoiler room, so I can't go to the spoiler room.
So this is the part in the episode. Well, how about you put the big spoiler thing right there next to us? You can do
I
it.
deleted that too.
Oh, all right,
Like
guys.
I could do it, but see the problem is like I didn't put your like the new thing. Hold on, give me. It probably won't even take much. I just have to copy and paste it. Give me 1 second, guys, because I'm not. I see. Usually we use Zoom, but I thought try to do something different. That way we won't have to like rely on using Zoom. And I actually like this because what we can do is we can have I can control your your audio in case your audio is a little high or low. I can control your
Yeah.
audio in this. All right, so yeah, it didn't take long. Let me
Oh,
just
there it
open.
goes.
Let me open up our stuff here. Add extreme. There we go. And as you can see, what's funny is I don't
I'm
have
bigger
access.
than life. Now that King is taking
That didn't take
over.
long. Never mind.
I'm
Like, all right, so this is the spoiler part. So if you ain't seen it, and some of you in the chat act like you don't care, so I don't think you care. But we're about to spoil the hell out of Megan. I actually enjoyed this movie. There's not much issues I have with this movie, but there's one big thing that didn't make sense. It felt like the whole movie was revolved around her only committing murder when it was necessary to protect the little girl. Would you not agree with that? Why kill the boss? There was no reason to kill the boss.
She killed the boss because the boss wanted her terminated from the beginning. You don't remember? She never forgot.
Yeah, I could feel that, but I feel like that's emotion at that point. She didn't seem like
she gained emotion. She gained emotion when she sat there with the little girl and she said, tell me a story about your mother, and I'll save it right here.
Yeah, tell
That's
me.
when she was bonding.
Tell me at the end when they started like taking all the like the material that made her look like a human and her hair off. She started looking like at that point she did start looking like a Terminator. Like,
yeah. Well, she is made out of titanium, right? And listen. I mean, I was predicting certain things throughout the film. The reason why the film doesn't rate all the way with me, and you're going to be surprised with my rating of the film, is because the predictability of the film. I was able to predict from when the film started to when the film ended what was going to happen, how it was going to happen. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the predictability and nature of the film didn't have too many twists and turns for me.
Yo, King, let me interrupt you. Tell me how when that thing started with that big like robot, I was like, that thing's gonna be used. That thing is gonna be used. There is no reason to use this thing in this scene. Like,
it was a MacGuffin that I said, aha, this is how they're gonna get her. Hold on one second.
Oh God, this golden child thing.
Hold on, Dragonheart Yobi with the $10 super chat. Legendary ILP, shout out to the Golden Child Addict. Reason I call you that is because you are. Also, you show with dirt and ask why I don't have a special name. Now you do. Peace, love, life.
God, Golden. So tomorrow the Addict show returns. So I hope you guys like that because we actually got a lot to talk about. All right, so I agree with you. I think the movie was predictable because, see, the way I like the show is because like you dig down into a show more than I do. You most of the time I just take a show from face value. You know what I'm saying? I don't really put too much thought into stuff, but I do agree with you. I feel like the movie was pretty predictable. Like the only thing that wasn't predictable was the only thing I didn't like. Ironically, was killing the
boss.
The boss, and then she comes in there, and the dude's like, "Why'd you do that?" She's like, "I didn't do that. You did that." and then I'm thinking about, Well, I'm like, I think they should have kept him alive because they gonna believe that a robot killed, like the little dog killed him.
What I loved about that scene, she used his own hand to slit his own throat.
Cause she knew
Yeah,
that she needed that angle with his hand fingerprints on the
yep.
weapon.
And she's like, "You are overcome with grief."
Look, okay, all right, chat. I will say, first off, this movie's doing very well.
Yes,
Like, mad
really
more
good.
successful than I thought it was going to be. Apparently, it made like what 50 million open weekend, and I know that don't sound like a lot to you guys, but for a movie like this, that's a good amount. You know, that's a good opening. They've already greenlit the sequel, which I kind of they did open up a little bit in the sequel. You know, I actually felt like the movie deserves a sequel because I felt like they did enough to entertain me. And it was a fun time. But, you know, what is your biggest issues with this? Like, besides the predictability
of the film. All right, so the TikTok dance made no sense.
Yeah, because it was literally she didn't show, like, it would have been different if like the little girl showed her that TikTok dance like at the beginning of the movie or something, like, but she comes out there and like I would have wanted her to like crawl on the walls or something over a TikTok dance that made no sense.
Well, she did a couple of those later on when she was extremely damaged. She was moving in a terribly
in the house,
robotic way. Where the movie took on a more sinister, serious tone when she realized that the girl betrayed her. You know, she pleaded to the girl to, hey, listen, man, we kill her together. You know, we wrap this up together. We can do this together. And
you know,
the little girl was like, oh, hell to the no. And she got Big Brody out and commenced to whip her behind.
You know, part of me wished that Megan killed them and the movie ended with them mass producing her as a doll.
Well, okay. So the reason why I waited to see if it was going to be a cutscene like a Marvel film.
I did.
Because she's sentient, and when her mind went inside the little robot, her mind was already inside the little robot. She was using electronics in her immediate vicinity to control them.
She shut them out of the computer. Remember, they had to disconnect her to get her out of it.
But she was able to do it through Wi-Fi because remember when the alarm was going off, she walked past the alarm. She was able to turn the alarm off without even thinking about it.
She just did this. Like, ran with her hand by, and you could tell that like that little AI at the beginning was different at the end. So there's clearly something going on there.
It was a modern take on like if you make this stokes a lot of fears. It stokes a lot of fears. A lot of people have these fears that AI becomes sentient, and how can we do it, and when would it start, right? And this started off with the greatest. They said the road to hell is paved by good intentions. The sister wanted to give her a friend and something that she can work that she was working on to help her deal with her grief over her mother and father dying. And that was good intentions, right? But it was paved to hell because she didn't get a chance to put up the firewall. She didn't get a chance to put up the protocols. And Megan kept, like a child, testing the boundaries of what she was able to get away with and what she wasn't able to get away with. And those boundary testing acts, went to the daughter. I mean, the kid. And the kid started doing like when she smacked the girl. Like when she smacked the girl in the face, I was like, oh hell no.
I don't know if you caught on this, but maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
But when she was fighting the dog and she went down and hit the ground, you heard that circuit fry.
Hit her head.
I felt like that's when she started going loco. It's like something happened with that started making her like maybe
a short circuit.
There was some kind of damage done that.
Yeah.
At that point, she stopped thinking like she was originally designed to.
Well, I believe it was a short circuit at that point in time because you saw it when he bit her.
It sparked. Yeah.
I like the fact that when she went and she called a dog and she took the dog away. We never saw the dog again, but when she went to go kill the neighbor, she said, where's Sparky or whatever? And he was like 35 kilometers over.
Yo, she killed her a really
down.
gruesome way, man.
Yeah.
Like, she pretty much sprayed her with a hot hose. Like,
she sprayed her with a power washer.
Oh, power washer.
Face until her skin came off, into power washed into her brain. It was a really good take on the film. It was when she grabbed that little boy and she was pulling on his ear. Now, I thought it was a plot hole because remember, she throws the ear away.
Mm-hmm.
His ear is not going to fly away from a car crash. But when they talk to the sister, and the detective says, well, what we found was kind of weird was, an ear was clean, ripped off a couple of yards away up the hill. And that made the sister think like, oh, we got to really check out Megan because Megan probably on some murderous joint.
And you could tell that like she was suspecting Megan before that happened.
Yeah.
But when and that's what I like, because at first it looked like that was going to be a plot hole, and then they're like, okay, it's not. Like we put this in here. What I liked is like I liked the evolution of the sister slowly seeing where Megan's going, and by the time she realizes 100%, it's too late. Like Megan,
too late.
Because if she would have done something towards the beginning, I feel like Megan would have let her shut her down. But once she got to a point where she felt like everything she was doing is justified, it was right. I think it was right at that point where she turned her off. And then she turned herself back on when she looked away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think at that point, it was over. There was nothing she could do.
When she started questioning her, when she said, Megan, shut off, she said, I thought we was having a conversation.
That was the same night. That was the same night.
Hello. And then she grabbed the remote and turned her voice down.
Did you like when the first time she did the pin thing and turned her off, she tried it again, she slammed her on the table? She's like, we're not doing that again.
Not again.
So all right, man. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Let me go back to the non-spoiler room, man. Let's get to the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shut the curtain for you guys. What do you rate this, King? Or you want me to go first? Or you go first.
I'll go first. This is no big thing. I give it 3 popcorn.
A 3 popcorn. Was there a particular reason you give it 3?
Yeah, because I thought it did everything right. But the worst thing that I like in my films, I don't want it to be predictable. I want you to throw me a curveball. And the curveball that you did throw me, I had to dig very hard to see the motivation behind that curveball when you killed the boss.
Yo, Jeff, you stupid for that comment. Is it wrong to think that doll's kind of hot? Yes, it's definitely wrong.
Definitely.
We might have to get what do they call that thing when you have the cops go check on someone to make sure they okay?
A wellness check.
A wellness check. We gonna have to get a wellness checkup on you, my dude. I give it a 4.
I knew you would.
I actually really enjoyed it.
All right, and let me ask you this question because I knew I had to come at you for this. We gave Avatar 4. Is this movie in the same class as Avatar?
It's not, but I would consider Avatar in the higher echelon of 4, and this is like a lower
4.5.
Like, in essential, I would give this a 3.5, but we don't have a 3.5. And I do think that as far as the storyline that they showed, I don't think it's a 3. I think it's a 3.5 to 4. They did what they went out to originally do, and I think they did it well. But the problem is, it's like the predictability, and I think there's, I think what would have been interesting if they had some kind of like, a wrench in the storyline. Like, you find out that at the end that, Megan was the second robot and the first one helps them fight off the second. You know what I'm saying? Like you just at the end where they had them hung up.
for a plot twist. You
Yeah,
were
like
looking
at the end
for,
where they had like Megan hung up.
yeah,
If like you see the first one's like little cage there all the time, but you never
yeah.
see them, and then and then they just it just like look like, I get it. It's a 3 to 4. I go into 4 because at the end of the day, I want to be entertained, and I was entertained for the entire
I was
time.
thoroughly entertained. 3 popcorn is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with 3 popcorn. I think the sequel can reach a 4 popcorn level, but was it 4 popcorn? It was way too predictable. When you saw the big
I'll give
robot,
it a
you knew
3.
that big
You're
robot
right.
was
You're
gonna whip
right.
our
You're right.
ass
You
at the end.
convinced me. I'll mark it back down to a 3. Like, you're
Thank
right.
you. It's just. If I'm gonna give it a 4, is it on the same level of something I gave a 4 to before? And I can't say that it's Avatar 4. So it's a 3 for me
But see,
because
I
it
feel like
gets
the reason I
everything
don't
right.
do that is because I can't compare something that didn't have the budget to something else. Like,
But see, that's okay. So it had to be truly exceptional, and it had to throw that curveball that you said, "Oh snap! I didn't see that coming." At no point in time in that movie did you go, "Oh
yeah,
snap!"
there was no
No suspenseful
suspension
movie part. Yeah,
whatsoever in it. It was
right.
the definition of beginning, middle, and close. Like,
There you go. That's it, and that's exactly what I told my wife. I said there is a beginning, a middle, a climax, and a conclusion, and it followed that whole script. So
it is what it is. I do think that it's a solid experience, and I think you guys should go watch it. But I can understand there's certain issues that some of you guys have. So that's pretty much the show. I'll have the Megan thing up on. We do have another channel that I'm gonna start uploading certain segments of this onto.
yes, sir.
See how that goes. I'm gonna make a thumbnail for it. Really try to grow another channel, and we'll see what happens. But King, where can the people find you at, man?
Well, you can find me. This Saturday is no fights, so you can find me Sunday at ILP. Well, now I'm gonna be doing Breakfast with Boom this Friday. So I'm gonna try to get there as early as possible so I can hang out with Boom, so I can talk some shops, talk some video games with Boom. But it was a great run, man. Next Tuesday, I can't wait to talk about The Last of Us. Attic and I is gonna work on something that we can make sure that every movie that comes out this year, that we are on top of these movies, and hopefully we get invited to some of these red carpet stuff, man. And people do actually like our takes on film. So
I think my number one priority with the show right now is building up how we want the show. I think I got pretty much how I want the show for the most part now. Like, there is a little bit more fine-tuned stuff that I want to do.
Yep.
I also want to eventually, get a little bit more reaction thing here. See, here's the problem, guys. I want to react to certain trailers. Like, it'd be cool if me and King don't watch trailers at all through the week, and we watch trailers at the beginning of the show.
Great trailer dropped today.
Yeah, but I got to do more research on, because here's the thing. Do you guys know how much trouble me and King would get if we have to explain to Cognito why we can't stream ILP to the channel anymore because we got a copyright strike for watching trailers on R&R.
No, we got to do that in the background.
Yeah, so when it comes to stuff like that, like, I would love to try it, but I can't. It's not worth risking. So we do have the second channel. I think me and him might start reacting to trailers on that channel. Just to give you guys a little bit more. I still got a little bit of things I have to do on that. The Patreon, like I said, we're going to give a couple. There'll probably be a $5, $10, $15 tier. $5 tier. Well, you guys are going to like what we're doing. I do think the $10 tiers with the R&R is going to be. You're going to have the reactions in there. The, all the stuff that we do is most likely going to be in that tier. And I think you guys will enjoy it, man. Especially. And the reason we're putting it behind that is because, at the end of the day, we fund this stuff solely by you guys, and we want to give you guys as much value as possible. And let's be real, King has to sit in that chair and not his comfy couch and watch Attack on Titan now just to make sure we get content in that vault.
And I have no problem with doing that.
Yeah, well, still, it's an inconvenience.
No, it's gonna be so much fun because when I get a chance to do it, and these guys get a chance to see my raw reaction to something that I predicted, like I predicted that my boy was going to come back. I said, "There's absolutely no freaking way," and when he did it, I screamed in my room like I won like something on at the Super Bowl, like I placed a bet, and he was alive, so I felt good. It was like my character, like I grew up and stuff. So I felt good he was back. You know, my man is something wrong with him though, but he back though.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, next week, we really coming through next week, you guys. You guys have no idea. Next week we're gonna be watching that Last of Us thing, and what the good thing about this is, unless people want to talk about it, we don't have to bring that up on ILP. If you want
That's right.
to hear the conversations related to that, you're just gonna have to come over here on this. The Mario thing, we're gonna go watch that as well. And I think we're going to give you guys a lot of good content because King's not going to be the only one doing the reaction stuff. I'll react to Baki, I guess. But, right now, the problem is the Patreon's not, it's not been rehashed yet. So until it's rehashed, there's not like a whole lot we can do at this current moment. But I appreciate everyone coming through, man. We was up here. We had a solid almost like 85 people. We got 58 likes. Hit those like button, man. Let's get that up, man. Get that as high as we possibly can. We are trying to build this show.
Share it out, man. Share it out to people, man, because this is a passion project, much like the PlayStation VR. But this one we want to succeed. We want this passion project to succeed. We're not throwing it out to the wolves for it to die.
This is King. Actually, let me try the okay, I already did the closing thing. So hold up. There we go. So this is King David, Lord Addict, and this is how it looks normally. I love how I got all that to work. But I appreciate everyone coming through.